She moved into the old cottage at the edge of the silent forest. The villagers warned her not to live there after sunset. But she liked the quiet and ignored their strange looks. Every evening, the forest filled with soft whispers she couldn't explain. One night, she followed the sound deeper into the woods. The trees grew denser, and the path disappeared behind her. She turned around, but the way back was completely gone. The whispers got louder, like someone calling her name softly. She wasn't scared, not yet, only curious. Then she saw a figure between the trees, standing perfectly still. It looked just like her, same face, same clothes, same eyes. Her double smiled and stepped back into the shadows. She chased it, heart racing, branches scratching her arms. The deeper she went, the colder the air became. Eventually, she reached a clearing with a stone circle. In the center stood an old mirror, tall and cracked. Her reflection blinked, even though she hadn't. The mirror shimmered, showing a different version of her house. Inside it, everything was clean, bright, and peaceful. She reached out and touched the glass with shaking fingers. Suddenly, her hand passed through the surface like water. She gasped but felt no pain, only a gentle pull. Then the whispers returned, louder now, urging her to step through. She hesitated, then stepped fully into the mirror. The world behind her vanished in a blur of light. She stood now in the same house, but it felt wrong. Everything was too perfect, too quiet, like a painting. She walked through the rooms, searching for something familiar. A photo on the wall showed her, but smiling strangely. The version of her in the photo had eyes too wide. She heard footsteps upstairs, even though no one else lived here. She followed the sound, heart pounding with each step. In the bedroom, she found someone sleeping in her bed. It was her, peacefully sleeping, unaware of anything. She tried to wake the sleeping version, but couldn't touch her. Her hand passed through like smoke, leaving no mark. Suddenly, the sleeping girl opened her eyes and stared at her. But those weren't her eyes, they were black and endless. The sleeping version sat up slowly, still staring at her. Then she smiled, too wide, too empty, too cold. "I've been waiting," the reflection said, without moving her lips. She stumbled back, terrified, and ran from the room. The hallway twisted as she moved, now longer than before. Doors appeared where there were none, leading to strange places. One opened to a forest burning in silence. Another showed a clock spinning backward with no hands. A third opened to complete darkness with whispering voices. She slammed it shut and kept running down the hallway. At the end, she saw the mirror again, pulsing softly. She reached it, hoping to return to her world. But this time, the surface was solid and cold. She pounded on it, screaming, but no sound came. Behind her, the black-eyed version stood, smiling calmly. "You chose this," the reflection whispered. "Now I live instead." The mirror flickered, showing her old house again. Her reflection waved from inside, wearing her life like clothing. She fell to her knees as the world dimmed. The house began to dissolve into ash around her. Only the mirror and the other version remained. She tried to remember her name but couldn't. She was becoming a shadow, forgotten and fading. The reflection turned away and closed the curtains. Now she could only watch through a distant haze. The new version of her lived happily in her place. No one outside noticed the change, not even her friends. She screamed again, but no one could hear her. Only the forest whispered back, remembering her voice. Seasons passed, but the mirror stayed cold and locked. She became part of the cottage's walls, silent, waiting. At night, new whispers filled the forest air again. Another girl arrived, looking for peace and quiet. She smiled at the house and entered without fear. The mirror shimmered faintly as the door closed behind her. And somewhere deep inside, the shadow stirred awake again. The circle was complete, waiting for another name to forget. But something deep inside her refused to fade completely. She focused on the sound of her own heartbeat, faint, but there. The walls of the cottage pulsed like a living thing. She whispered her name, even if no one remembered it. Somewhere, she hoped, a part of her still existed outside. The mirror trembled slightly, just for a second. She stood up from the ashes, more shadow than flesh now. In the corner, a crack appeared in the glass. The black-eyed version looked over her shoulder, confused. For the first time, fear touched her reflection's face. The trapped girl moved closer, voice growing stronger. I am not gone. I am not yours. The cottage shook as whispers turned into voices. Other shadows stirred, ones who were trapped before her. Together, they pushed against the walls of this false world. The reflection screamed, light bursting from her eyes. The mirror shattered, releasing a wave of darkness and wind. She was pulled through it, screaming, burning with memory. When she opened her eyes, it was morning. And the real world was waiting, quiet, but not safe.